going to move this 1 second. A gwyn yw'r tá sé go híomh an so in i'r Corcaí ar eisiau gobaide com ar cúnta Corcaí bádas Ciarí ar maidin tá minis mar achfant 8,000 siar ón daingen I riocht Ciarí. And living in West Kerry, when I moved there first, I began to hear the name Canon James Goodman, and I wondered who was this man. I had been involved in one way or another in either playing or documenting or photographing music for 30 years, and I heard people begin to speak about Canon James Goodman, and I began to find out a little bit about who he was and what he did. And I'm sure there are people in this room who know an awful lot more about Goodman than I do. But the thing about him was that he collected a bunch of music which would have been lost had he not written it down, and it remained almost hidden for decades and almost for a very long period of time, until people began to sort of pick away and open up these boxes and wonder what were these tunes and where did they come from. Frank Hart, who was a great old friend of mine and a song collector, once said to me, he said, if you want to know the facts, he said, you should consult a history book. If you want to know what it felt like, you should consult a singer and a musician, because they are the people who will lead you into the emotional heart of a people, the soundtrack of our lives and an aspect of the soundtrack of our lives, and all that went with those tunes that Goodman collected. His relationship with the Piper Kennedy, his relationship with his own church, his relationship with the tumult of the famine, what he did in Trinity College, etc. And that led me to want to make a film about him. And I did, and I suppose that's in a circuitous route how I ended up being here today, invited by Pat Collins and by the festival committee to come and talk to this particular subject. Art, technology, and tradition. Technology has been involved in almost every aspect of what I've been doing and every aspect of my work, one way or another, since I began. And I'll go back down the reels of memory and tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I want to begin by reading you a poem from Seamus Heaney. And the poem is called The Given Note. When I wake up in the morning, I live on the Ventry side of Mount Eagle. I often wake up in the morning and I take myself out on these beautiful summer mornings at 6:30, and I try and walk up to the top of this mountain. And when I do, I look due west and I see the Blasket Islands. And there's a body of water between the Dunquain and the Blasket Islands, which is called the Blasket Sound. And it's reputed that a tune came from that body of water, and the tune is called Port na Bouquet. And it's a very, very beautiful tune. If you get an opportunity to listen to it, Liam O'Flynn plays it on the pipes. And this tune inspired this poem from Seamus. And I think when we come to talk about technology, when we come to talk about tradition, translation, and transmission, this is a very interesting poem. Because listen to the title, The Given Note. The note that is given. The note that is given to us. It's not owned by anybody. It's not entailed by anybody. It seems not to have a copyright or an intellectual property, but it is rather something that was given out of the sea. The legend goes that the Dáligs, the fishing family from Dunquain, were out fishing one day, and they came in, and one of them took down an accordion and began to play this tune. And somebody said, "What is that tune?" And they said, "We don't know." They said, "Where did you get it?" They said, "Well, we got it outside." "Outside where?" "Well, sure, we were out fishing." We said, we got it outside. When we came in, we had it. It was given. The tune was given. It is something that belongs to not one individual, but something that is ours. And I'll take this theme of the thing that's given right through my remarks, and wonder perhaps when we come when we come to the end, you know, how entailed has everything become? Who owns what? And all that goes with that. Let me read Seamus's poem, because it's such a beautiful thing. On the most westerly blasket, in a dry stone hut, he got this air out of the night. Strange noises were heard by others who followed bits of a tune coming in on loud weather. Though nothing like melody, he blamed their fingers and ear as unpracticed, their fiddling easy, for he had gone alone into the island and brought back the whole thing. The house throbbed like his full violin, so whether he calls it spirit music or not, I don't care. He took it out of wind, off mid-Atlantic. Still he maintains from nowhere. It comes off the bow gravely and rephrases itself into the air. So